Okay, this is a fresh thought. Haven't even rehearsed it, so you'll see how my mind works a little bit. We titled it, we. I titled it, Why Would You Not Succeed? Success is something that we talk about a lot, especially coming from the community we're growing up in, from the community that has barely any resources and all that, right? So the only option is success. And when I tell you guys that success is whatever it means to you, right? So think athletes, right? So if you want to be a successful athlete, your journey would be different than someone who wants to be a successful book writer. So success is whatever it means to you, whatever it feels like it should look like for you. Don't ever let anyone tell you what your success should look like, because we all experience life different, right? We all experience it in a unique way. So the way I view success is not going to be the way all of you guys view success. Maybe some of you, or maybe all of you, could get a sense of similar ideas of what success means in regards to what I speak about. But even then, your success will be different than what I think of success. So, why would you not succeed? Why would you not succeed at what you're good at what you want to accomplish, at what you're imagining, at what you're dreaming about, at what you're working towards? Why would it not happen for you? It happens to others, so why not you? Others succeed, so why would you not succeed? Others create and live the lifestyle they want, so why would you not be able to do it as well? The easy answer to all these whys is mentality, the way people work their mind and body. Remember, I always tell you guys, inner world first, outer world will come. Inner world, everything that makes us us, right? Everything. Outer world, ego related things, anything that comes from material, from the world, right? From this world, not from our world. So that's that. The easy answer to all these whys is mentality, right? So the way people work their mind and body. That is why it is important to take care. That is why it is important to take care of and work on your mind, inner work. And then you will see that all the things that come from the inner world, from that inner work you're doing, will translate into the outer world, into whatever it is that you are working towards. Let's see. Yeah. So all the things in the outer world will begin to align for you. This is something that as much as I try and wrap my head around and try and see how can I explain it, it's just something that you just have to experience. It's just something that you just have to be willing to accept that it will happen. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why things align. I can't tell you how things align. Hold up, let me fix my beautiful eyebrows. So yeah, I cannot tell you why things happen or how things will happen, but what I can tell you, and I can assure you for sure, is that they will happen. Things will align, things will happen. You just have to be willing to trust that they will happen. Sometimes it's hard to trust that it will happen, because you start doing the work on something and then you're like, when is it coming? When am I gonna get to this goal? Or when are things gonna start aligning for me, so that I understand that the work I am doing is working? And you just have to just keep being willing to work, whatever the work is, right? And just keep having faith, keep having trust that it will happen. At some point it will happen. And the cool thing about that is that once you see a little bit, even if it's just a small glimpse of things aligning for you without you really doing much in the outer world, just doing the work in your inner world, the moment you start seeing a little bit of that, you'll crave it more, because you'll begin to see that it is true, right? You'll see evidence that what I'm talking about is not just BS. So just put in work and you will see that things will align. Again, I cannot tell you how, I cannot tell you why. I can't even give you a time limit, right? Of like, oh, if you do this for this long, things will start aligning. that is all for you to experience, which is also the cool part about being in a process, right? Like I always tell you guys, everything is a process. You complete a process, and then you start a new process, and then you finish that process, and then you move on to another process, because that's what life is. Life is always learning, always upgrading, always just moving forward, right? And that also helps to not be complacent, to not reach an end goal and then be like, oh, okay, I think I'm done here. No, like you should always want more in a healthy way too, right? You like to not make to not confuse you guys in the sense that once you guys gain success, to keep craving more and more because you don't feel satisfied. That to me, again, like I tell you guys, the way I view it, that to me is not how it should be. To me, it should be like you reach an end goal, you become successful at something, and you feel fulfilled, and you feel so happy, you feel so just calm about it that you're like, you know what, I want more. Not, damn, I'm not feeling good enough. It hasn't filled my heart up. So let me just continue to chase that until I feel fulfilled. No, feel fulfilled, and then want to get more, right? Want to keep pushing forward. So yeah, so the easy answer to all these whys is mentality, the way people work their mind and body. And for us, inner world and then outer world. The real complex answer to all these whys is, and I wrote, I cannot give you that answer. I cannot give you that answer, as we all live life uniquely. We all experience life according to our own lens, right? So according to how I grew up, according to the experiences that I went through at a young age, the experiences that are currently shaping me. Excuse me. So, excuse me again, man. So yeah, so that is the simple, easy answer to all these whys of like, why would you not succeed? The way you work your mind, the way you take care of your body. However, the real complex answer is, I cannot give you that answer. That answer has to come from within you. That answer has to come to you. You have to be the one that comes to that conclusion of why you would not succeed. However, I can give you some of my answers, some of my theories, right? My own theories, some of my own schools of thought. And from there, you can get an understanding of how to start receiving your own answers. And that's pretty much what I always tell you guys, right? Like, I just speak about my experiences. I speak about what I've learned. I speak about how I view the world, about how I go about things. And then from there, I allow you guys to just come to your own conclusions. I never tell you guys, hey, I did this, so you should do it, right? I tell you guys, hey, I did this, it helped me, or I did this and it didn't help me. And then from there, it is completely up to you guys whether you guys want to try it, whether you guys want to go about it like that, right? So always be like that. I always tell you guys to not be easily influenced. That includes me. It should always be like that, right? Take in information, filter it, right? So through your own lens, through your own brain, filter it until it makes sense to you. And if you grab a piece of information from me, from whoever, and you filter it, you process it and all that, and it still doesn't speak to you, that's okay. You can let it go and be like, that's not for me. Maybe something else has to click for me. Maybe I will succeed at it in a different way, in a different, from a different perspective, from a different lens. So again, this is just from my own lens. And this will always be the thing, right? I will always be like that. I will always share about my experience, about the things that I do, about the things that do help me, about the things that don't help me. And then from there, you guys just take it. You guys just do whatever it is that you guys want with that information. Like I always tell you guys, these thoughts, these things, this project, everything is just for me. Well, in a very nice way. They're just for me. I don't care if people, whoever it is that ends up watching these things, right? I don't care if they agree, if they disagree, if it helps them, if it doesn't help them. I mean, if it helps them, a good feeling, right? But again, I'm doing it for me because I want to show you boys, right, my specific fake audience, that especially because same upbringing, similar upbringing and all that, similar community and all those good things, right? I just want to document it because I know I'm going to be successful at my craft. I'm going to be successful within my own purpose. I know that for a fact. I just want to document it. I want to document the journey. So that way you guys have like a blueprint. That way you guys have like a map. And again, not a map to directly follow as like, oh, okay, I got to do this. He did that, so I got to do that. No, just a map of how it is to come from a hard background, from a background that doesn't come from money, from a background that doesn't really have many resources, right? How it was that I was able to navigate that and eventually get to where I am envisioning, where I am daydreaming, night dreaming, where I am just constantly working towards, right? So I can give you some of my answers, some of my own thoughts, and then from there you get an understanding of how to start receiving your own answers. So I wrote three thoughts to these whys. So excuse me again. Let's see. So why would you not succeed? I wrote 3 things that would help me understand of why would I not succeed, right? Excuse me again. I drink a coffee and yeah, man. Again, a whole raw video, right? No editing, no nothing. And at some point, like I mentioned before, at some point I will make it more appealing, more easy to digest. Although I feel, this is my thing. I feel that when I receive videos or when I watch content and all these things that are raw, that are like, okay, like that person is just being themselves and putting it on there like that, to me it helps me kind of understand them more, or be like, okay, like I can connect to that person in that sense, right? So that's also why in a way I like just this aspect of it. So we'll see, right? This journey, this project barely began. It's barely been a year, I think, and even then I had to take a pause because of reasons in regards to where I was providing services and all that good stuff, right? But yeah. Anyway, back to the three thoughts that I gave myself, right? The 3 thoughts that came to mind when I read it. Why would I not succeed? So the first one is, I have a strong belief system. So I know I am going to succeed. I know that success is coming my way because I have a strong belief system. A belief system is something I talk about a lot with you boys, right? I'm always talking about belief system. And like I've said it, and I'll continue to say it, I will never push my belief system onto anyone else. I will only speak about my belief system because it's my belief system. It's what helps me. So my belief system is God, right? And I don't like to say, this is a little bit because I'm still navigating that aspect, right? I don't like to say God in the sense of like religion, of like go to church, there's a man up in heaven and all these things, right? I have my own definition of God, and like I said, that relationship is still in the works. Once I get a better understanding, I'll be able to share more about how I come to believe in God, or what God means to me. But for right now, my belief system is God, right? I seek a relationship and communication with Him, and I have experienced His responses. I have experienced what it is to build a relationship with Him, what it is to continue to water that relationship with Him. This alone is why I know that I will also succeed on my own craft, right? Within my own purpose, because of God. And I could probably say that that's the only reason I need. That is the only thing I need. As long as I have God, as long as I have my belief system, I know success is the only option for me. Again, within my own craft, within my purpose. So that is the first thought that came to me of like, why would I not succeed? I'm going to succeed because I have my belief system. Your belief system should always want the best for you. So whatever belief system you have, or whatever belief system you want to explore, Keep that in mind. Your belief system should always want the best for you. Your belief system should be a tool to help you, to guide you, to give you knowledge, to give you wisdom, to be moving forward in life towards your purpose, towards the end goals that you set for yourself. So the first thought, a belief system, God. The second thought, or the second reason of why I would not succeed, or like that came to mind where I was like, okay, I am going to succeed. Why would I not succeed? I am constantly working on my self-esteem. In order to feel confident and think highly of yourself, but think highly of yourself in a humble way, right? Never that you're above others. Just in your own mind, you should see the world as you existing and you being the only person that exists. Or maybe other versions of you exist in this planet, in this universe, in this reality. And you just want to be the better version of all those yous, right? So never comparing yourself to others, never wanting to be better than others, and also never allowing others to make you feel less, never allowing others to make you feel that they're above you. Always in your mind, you're the only one living this life, you're the only one in this world, so you should always want to be better than previous you, better than the past you, better than yesterday's you, and you want to be better than tomorrow's you, and so on and so on. Does that kind of make sense? So think of yourself highly, but in a humble way, right? Because if not, your belief system will make sure that you are humbled, right? So you remember who comes before you, your belief system. You need to work on your self-esteem. If someone thinks highly of themselves and is confident about their own self, about their own resources, about their own life, about their own purpose and how they're going about it, then they will not give up when an obstacle comes, right? So say you're working towards something, obstacles will come, part of life, ups and downs. When those obstacles come, if you're very confident about yourself, if you have good self-esteem, you'll think of that obstacle and be like, okay, this is an opportunity to grow. Let me see how I can go over this obstacle. Let me see how I can move this obstacle so I can just keep going forward, right? So high self-esteem will not allow you to give up, and thus it will not allow you to fail, which means that it will push you to success. So if you have high self-esteem, you will not give up because you'll think of yourself as someone that can do it all. And to give up, to cry in the sense of like, man, why are these obstacles coming to me? That it doesn't align with someone who has high self-esteem, right? Someone who thinks highly of themselves, who is confident within themselves, will be like, yes, an obstacle came. It's easy. I'll get through it. And then the cool part about that, right, is that you're kind of like speaking it and also thinking it into existence in a sense. So if an obstacle comes and you don't have good self-esteem and all that, and you think that obstacle is way bigger than it actually is, well, guess what? Now you made it way bigger than it actually is. But again, if you have high self-esteem, you see an obstacle and you're like, it's manageable. Guess what? It is going to be manageable, right? It is going to be easy to get past it. So far we have a strong belief system and good self-esteem, working on your self-esteem. Those are two thoughts, right, that kind of came to me when answering these whys. The last one, the third one, is I come from nothing. So low socioeconomic status, right? Low SES. That is something that I liked when I first learned about it. I didn't think there was like a thing. I just thought like, yeah, like you know, like I come from the ghetto. I come from like low all these things, right? But then I learned about this proper term like low SES, high SES, socioeconomic status, and it sounds better off the tongue to say that instead of like, oh yeah, like I come like we're broke or something like that, right? So I come from nothing, a low SES, right? The family I come from is not a family of money. I love my family. I am super grateful. I am so just filled with love, filled with happiness about my family, right? I'm big on family. Family is something that's big to me. So I love my family, but I can understand that my family did not leave me like, what would you say it? I'm not gonna inherit anything in regards to like, oh, like, yeah, like my dad does this, so he's gonna leave me his company, or my mom's gonna make sure that I, like, have money and all these things, right? Which is fine, right? Excuse me. When it comes to family, sometimes I feel like we get so caught up on like, oh man, like my family's blah blah. Like, no, like be happy about the good things about your family, and then the negative aspects of your family, just learn from it and let go. So the third one, I come from nothing, low SCS, right? And then so my family, that, and on top of that, the community, right? So we live in a community that has no resources. Our community is so, it's I like to always look at the positive. So we live in a very unique and a beautiful community. Some places easier to kind of live in than others, and it's a unique community. But again, it's how would you say without poor? Although I don't like using the word poor, but like it's just a community that barely has any resources. And you boys will understand that, right? That's why it's so cool about this project, because only those who grow up in this community, or maybe like similar communities, right, will have an understanding of what I'm talking about, right? So family, the community I grew up in, nothing, right? So if there is nothing, that means that by understanding that I come from nothing, then it allows me to understand that everything is a win, even if it's a loss. Even if it's a loss, because to us that come from nothing, a loss is not a loss. A loss is not a loss. It is simply knowledge and wisdom coming into our lives, right? So if I know that I'm coming from nothing, anything that I'm doing with my life is already a win. It is already a win. Even when I'm trying to succeed at something and like I fail, right? It is not a failure, because I don't come from anything. So what am I losing? A loss is a lesson, right? It's something to learn. So it is simply knowledge and wisdom coming into our lives. When you have nothing to lose, success is the only option, and it is the only end goal. And that anyone that grows up without money, that grows up without coming from successful backgrounds and all that, anyone can understand that, right? And be like, yes, I don't want this. I don't want this for my future generations. I don't want this anymore. I don't want these cycles to repeat. So the only option, the only end goal, the only thing I want is to be successful. And again, I am using success as what it means to me. I don't want you guys to think that success is money, that success has to do with anything materialistic. In a sense, yes, but not fully, right? So when you come from nothing, the only option is success. The only option is to win. And everything is a win when you come from nothing. Think of it like this. If you come from nothing, you start at zero, right? So you're at the base. You up. Say you take a loss, right? You're learning a lesson. You fall back, boom. You started at the base, right? So you're still here. It's not a loss, right? Dun. And even if you succeeded right here and you fell all the way, you would fall all the way to where? To where you begin. So you would never lose. Does that make sense? You would never lose if you started from nothing at the baseline. And say you started here, and that could also, you could also even interpret that differently too. But say you started here, and you're like, and the baseline is over here, right? Of like coming from nothing, boom, and you're here, boom, boom. Okay, you're still there, boom, you're still there, and then boom to the baseline. Maybe you would have a harder time trying to understand why, because you do come from something, or from like success and all that, and you're like, it's your first time experiencing it over here, right? So your first time experiencing over here. So me, who started at the baseline, I have already experienced that, right? And I continue to experience it every now and then, of what it is to start from the baseline, from zero, right? So bam, poof, shouldn't shake me. Like, it'll shake me because I'm like, oh man, I thought I was getting so close. But sometimes it is needed in order bring more momentum. Does that kind of make sense? Sometimes you can reach an end goal, bam, 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 you met it, right? And sometimes you need extra impulse, right? To get to where you need to go, right? So that is what I mean when you have nothing to lose, success, the only option, and then even when you lose, when you come across an obstacle, you're still winning. And then finally, I was just trying to just clarify it a little bit more, so how I told you guys, this is like a fresh thought. I haven't even been able to kind of go through it that much. And then I was like, after those 3 thoughts, I was thinking of other thoughts, but then I'm like, I'll leave it at 3, for especially because of oh man, I'm at 25 minutes. But again, whoever wants to take it in, right? Whoever wants to learn and all these things, cool. If someone just made it to minute 1, minute 2, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But if you made it this far, congrats. You deserve it all. All right. So finally, something that I wrote, and these are from my notes, right? Not everything from here, right? I wrote, an example. Think of your favorite athlete, actor, singer, simply of a successful archetype, right? So think of that person that you kind of are like, oh wow, like that. I feel motivated by that person, right? So for me, can you guys take a wild guess who came to mind? Ronaldo, right? The GOAT. So for me, Cristiano Ronaldo. So and when thinking of that successful archetype, I started thinking of him in regards to those 3 thoughts that came, right? So belief system was the one I talked about. So Ronaldo has his own belief system. I think he has faith. So I think he believes in God. But in regards to like the belief system, and this is where I kind of made a distinction. This is where I distinguish. This is where I made a distinction, I think. Yeah. El inglés es mi segundo lenguaje, mi primer lenguaje el español. So, a veces, I have to reach there for those English words. So, his belief system, a little bit different than mine, though. I'm sure he does believe in God, but to make a point. So, his belief system. So, remember, a belief system, a set of values, reasons, logics about life. That you strongly believe are the right way to navigate life, right? So whatever helps you navigate life, that you feel that's the right thing to do, that's how I should go about it, that's in a way part of your belief system. So his belief system, I saw it as himself. So my belief system, God, but also ourselves, and that should be for everyone, right? Ourselves. The thing that I kind of distinguished a little bit was that for me, it's God first. And again, that is something that I am still continuing to develop. But to Ronaldo, it seems like he puts himself first. So ego, right? Ego, good and bad. Again, you guys come to your own conclusions about that. So his belief system is himself. He believes in himself to a point of delusion. Delusion is not bad if it's healthy delusion, right? So 1, he has his own belief system, right? So yes. His self-esteem. Anyone that knows him, saludos al compa Chris. Nah. Anyone that like has heard of him or that has some type of knowledge about him, right? Because we don't fully know him. Although at some point I would want to get to know him. So his self-esteem, a lot of ego there, but it helps him because his self-esteem is amazing because it's super high, like really, really high. He thinks highly of himself, and that sometimes makes others uncomfortable, but that's because he knows his own value. He knows that his confidence is intact. He knows how much confidence he has. He will continue to live a life where success is the only thing he aims for because he has a high self-esteem. Remember, when you feel good about yourself, when you have that confidence, success will be the only standard that you want, right? Because you wouldn't want to fail because that comes from having low self-esteem, right? Not thinking highly of yourself, not having that much confidence. And then, okay, I didn't think I was going to take this much time, but the last one though. And then third, what was our third one? It was like, I come from nothing, right? So if you come from nothing, right, everything's a win. So Ronaldo also comes from nothing. So he losing his father, and knowing that in order to take care of his mother, of his loved ones, he knew that success was the only option, and that everything that came his way on his journey to success was always going to be a win. Remember, right? Again, you start the base, you haven't lost, right? Because you've already tasted. You began at the baseline. So on his way to success, whatever came his way on that journey would always be a win, even when it probably felt like a loss. So those are the three things that kind of came to mind, and how I was able to see that successful archetype of Ronaldo, and how those three things kind of, I could see it in him and how I can see it in me. And hopefully you guys can see it in yourselves too. So yes, these are the three thoughts that came to the why would you not succeed, right? Success, whatever success means to you. Again, get that across your head. Whatever success means to you. Just because you see others driving all these cars or having these big ass houses, if that is what success is truly to you, then awesome. You will be able to succeed at that, but you have to believe it. If your type of success is like, oh, I just want to make sure that I'm always happy, that I'm calm, that I feel fulfilled and just doing simple things and living in a simple manner, then that is also valid. That is also success. And that is also something that you will succeed at if you truly believe it, right? So why would you not succeed? You have all these other archetypes of successful people to kind of learn from. You have your own brain, your own mind, your own computer to understand how to succeed. So why would you not succeed, right? Success should be the only thing that you're aiming for. You just, I get a bit passionate about it, because when people look at us in regards to where we grew up, in regards to where we come from, it's not really like, oh, that's a success archetype in the making, right? It's like, right? So prove yourself wrong, right? Prove that doubter inside you wrong. Prove that low self-esteem person inside you wrong. Get rid of it. Get rid of those things. Work on them so they can become good, so they can become tools for you. And you will see that success is achievable. If others can do it, then so can you. And if others haven't succeeded in areas where you want to succeed, be the first one, right? Lead the way. So be successful. Aim for success. It is not a fairy tale. It is not a dream to be successful. It can be a reality if that is what you truly, truly work towards. Be successful. Why would you not succeed, right? All right. That is it for this thought. Let's continue to grind, boys. In my personal life at the moment, life is lifing for sure. So let's just keep grinding, and you guys will see that everything is going to pay off.